What are y'all's favorite movies and TV shows you have seen this year? The very first date, and then the part when I proposed. When are you going to tie the knot?
What I had my mind set on, I did it.
Have you ever thought about acting, dramas, music and fashion, and also modeling?
Ooh. Hi friends, my name is Hunter Brene and I'm a country bumpkin residing in the beautiful Seoul, South Korea.
I'm Juno, who's gonna be left alone for 2 weeks from now.
You're really starting it off like this.
But it's the truth.
Petty. We will get more into those details later. Thanks a lot, Juno. This video will more than likely come out after Christmas, so we want to wish you all a happy holidays. So friends, not too long ago we asked you all for questions for this wonderful Q&A. We're gonna do our best to get to as many as we can. We're gonna put some of them together that have similar themes. We're committed to this, we're ready. All right, let's do it.
The first question, what do you both do for work?
Currently, I am a native English teacher at an elementary school here in Seoul.
I work in a Korean company. I work in a purchasing team, which basically does merchandising. What are y'all's favorite movies and TV shows you have seen this year? My favorite movie this year was Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a really well-made movie. I really liked how the tension was going on for like the whole 3 hours. It was a very long movie.
Yeah.
Still, you really get into it and feel the emotions. But it makes you really concentrated and really feel like you're in the movie with those characters. It was a very well-made movie. I really liked it.
So for me, movie-wise, and I'm going to talk about a series. It wasn't a new series, but I introduced Juno to the Halloween series. Michael Myers. We didn't get to finish the whole series because it's a lot of movies. That much
Honestly,
time.
I got a little tired because it was like we were watching 5 series in a row.
It's very repetitive, so that made it hard for us to just sit through something.
Yeah. Well, we didn't watch all
No.
5 movies, but like we watched 2-3 movies in just one day.
Yeah. It's a
That
lot.
was it was
Yeah.
a lot.
We didn't get to watch the most recent, like the I think it was 2021, 2022, 2023. So we will get on that soon. Yeah, so what about TV shows? And actually, it's crazy because it doesn't feel like that was this year, but we watched The Glory together, which is a Korean drama on Netflix. Very deep and dark plot. It really pulled on your emotions. It really, kind of like what we said with Oppenheimer, it made you feel like you were in there with the characters. We were rooting for characters. We were not rooting for other characters, so we were very involved.
Well, it is a fiction, but it conveys the reality in Korea sometimes because bullying in school and those kind of dark sides in Korea, they're being revealed a lot these days.
This is the first time that we really sat down and watched things together. I am the type to talk while watching something. When we were watching it, I was very apprehensive. I didn't want to talk, but as the series went on, I started to narrate more and more.
Yeah.
And one day you told me, I really love that you do that.
Yeah, it's,
like
it's
that-
really
that-
cute. It's really cute.
You're like, it makes the experience better. So it made me feel good. It blossomed into us watching more things together and me continuously yelling at the TV.
Yeah, she gets really intense. Sometimes it scares.
Next question.
What are y'all's favorite Korean snack?
Favorite Korean snack. Okay.
I'll be honest,
Oh.
I don't really have a specific Korean snack that I like. I actually prefer snacks from other countries. Like, for example, I really love Doritos. I just can't live without it.
With it being cold right now, I am really into, we have roasted sweet potatoes here. They are really special here in Korea. They sell them at the little marts that are outside. You can also find them at the convenience stores. You don't put any seasonings, you don't put any butter, no brown sugar on them. You just peel the top layer off and like the smoke comes out and you eat it and it's so sweet. It's so delicious.
I think they do something to it. It's way
Yeah,
too
maybe some
sweet and
sort of,
delicious.
it's some sort of
Like
glaze.
they inject some sort of like
They're
drug
not,
in
they're
there.
not injecting drugs, you crazy man.
In Korea, in the old days, the old generation, they used to eat sweet potatoes with kimchi. It sounds weird, but it's an amazing combination. So if you're out there, please try it.
Try your sweet potatoes and kimchi.
What are your favorite date ideas?
Often our vlogs are of our dates outside. Any vlog, pick one, and and you'll find
Yeah.
like what we like to do. Ideally, cafes, watching movies, eating delicious food, shopping. That's our vibe, especially right now since it's cold outside.
And don't forget to subscribe and put a like.
갑자기? Oh,
they're gonna watch our videos.
fair. Good man. Good man.
What are 5 travel destinations y'all would like to go to?
Well, there's in Korea and outside of Korea.
So in Korea, we're thinking about Daegu
Mhm.
and Jeju.
Jeju, together, going
Yeah,
together.
of
We've
course.
been there individually, but
Yeah.
and then of course the U.S. and then outside of our home countries,
We're thinking about Japan.
Japan.
Somewhere in Europe, like France, Italy,
The UK,
UK.
definitely. We're developing a list.
Mm.
Stay tuned for travel content.
Did you meet all of your New Year's resolutions for 2023? Honestly, I didn't really set up any goals for this year. My sheet is blank.
Your sheet is blank. You're developing a sheet for
Oh,
next year.
For next year.
I exceeded my expectations for this year. In some areas, of course, I feel like I could have done a bit better, especially like fitness wise. I kind of
But you were too busy.
I had to take a break from boxing for other endeavors. Yeah, what I had my mind set on, I did it, and I did it well, and it's going to continue to be done next year. Let's
How'd
go.
y'all know each other was the one? We actually answered this question in the previous Q&A video. I didn't really have a certain moment, word, or action that actually made me fall into her. I think it piled up gradually as time passed by.
No. Yeah, I think same for me. There wasn't a specific moment. I felt a very pure level of authenticity from him. I compared Juno to a gnat. So Juno was very persistent. He was just always just flying around right in my vision, just always there. In a cute way, I call him persistent. When I'm upset with him, I call him annoying. But it was very endearing, especially when I felt like I was being pursued.
Oh, so this one, I'm gonna read it in Korean because I got it from my friend. 언제부터 두 분은 사랑스러우셨나요? So I answered, 헌터는 원래 사랑스러웠고 저는 헌터를 만나서 사랑스러워졌습니다.
Oh, you're so cheesy.
Hey.
Very cute. Yeonsu, thank you for the question.
How acceptable were your parents' opinions on your relationship? Have you feared the reaction of those close to you? Like parents, friends, and so on.
My family didn't care. They were happy that I was happy. They had no prejudice towards Juno because he was Korean. With the stories that I would tell them about how he treated me, they supported us from the beginning.
I wasn't worried at all because I don't really care others' opinions or stares. Of course, my family and my friends were surprised when they first met Hunter, but they were very welcoming and they were blessing us. They were actually really encouraging. So I really thank everyone around me who encouraged our relationship.
Yeah. I know as long as we're good, like we don't have to worry about anything outside of that.
Have you guys ran into any hurdles as an interracial couple in Korea? How have you noticed people respond or react?
So naturally, as an interracial international couple, we get stared at outside. I am more aware of that than Juno. He doesn't care. I care a lot. I wouldn't say we've run into hurdles outside of communication, which we talked about in our How We Met video, that often because of the cultural difference, there is miscommunication and that leads to conflict that we have to resolve as a couple, as every couple does in different ways. But one anecdote that I want to share is, it's more of a positive. Well, not too long ago, I fell really ill. When I fell ill, Juno was with me and he was able to get me to the hospital. Throughout that whole process, I thought about what would I have done without him. To be able to have the support of my partner and for him to see me at my most vulnerable, my lowest moment, and he stood beside me, and that really showed me that in every way, if I'm not 100%, I can count on him.
Could you please share some more details of how you first met beyond your first couple of dates and how you progressed romantically? I only remember the first date, the very first date, and then the part when I proposed.
Propose relationship.
Yeah, relationship.
You asked me to be your girlfriend. Beyond our first date, Juno really pursued me. He would get my favorite candy, or he would get flowers, or he would just write me a really nice note. Within the first month when we were seeing each other, I got sick, just common cold. But he came all the way to my house and left a bag with bread and medicine and hot packs from Santa Claus. Okay, Santa. And him going out of his way to do that was so romantic. I want to point out the little things that he did. Of course, so many examples, but that's one specific that stands out. There were 3 times when we first started dating where you bought me flowers, and I was so giddy. He really went out of his way to make me feel special. I did my best to give that back to him. Kind of became this thing where we were just growing together and getting to know each other and being attentive to each other progressively. If you have something more specific that you want to know, you can ask it down in the comments.
So this is another question that I got from my friend, and he asked me, what is the word of the year? And I answered the word is challenge. Next year, both Hunter and I are going to go through a huge change, especially career-wise. Of course, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I'm still looking for more opportunities and to develop myself. And Hunter is also going through transition. I lost the word there.
I have not yet found my word for 2024. Life's been lifing right now. Yeah, I want to really be intentional about where I see next year going. I really want to put time and focus to that. So stay tuned. I'll get back to you on that.
You should read this.
Can we read it? Okay. Oh, it's for me.
Yeah, it's for you.
So Hunter, how are you learning Korean? Do you have any classes, reading recommendations for learning Korean? I have a couple videos on this channel that I've dibbled and dabbled and talked about my Korean language journey, especially our date where we spoke only in Korean. Please watch that video if you haven't. and like the video. My Korean language journey has been a roller coaster. As any person who's learning a new language, I have taken classes with italki. Definitely recommend. They have an app and a website. You can get one-on-one tutoring classes. There's Amazing Talker, which is very similar to italki. Again, it's one-on-one. But then there's also Sogang University, Yonsei University, Ewha. There are a couple universities in Korea where they offer language programs. In my opinion, that was the most fulfilling program that I've done so far, learning Korean, but it's expensive. So, of course, self-studying. There are many resources online. How to study Korean, I believe, is one. Talk to Me in Korean. And then one that I'm looking into is YBM. They offer Korean language opportunities as well, and that's something I'm looking into for 2024.
And,
what is this?
She also borrowed a book from my nephew.
Not just one book, I got the whole series.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's a book for like toddlers, but those kind of things help. Look at this, it's a weight of knowledge. Oh, it's so heavy.
Oh.
When are you both visiting USA? Can't wait to see your US vlog with family.
Yeah, we had a couple questions about when are we traveling to the USA.
Yeah, and there was also a question about when will I meet Hunter's family in person.
Juno was actually supposed to meet my family this year, like around this time for Christmas, but, and this is a good but, a positive but, wow. My sister found out that she was pregnant, and she actually just had my nephew, so they were not able to come to Korea to visit us here, and I, in turn, am gonna go home and visit them for Christmas. This is a surprise. My family does not know that I'm coming, but this video will be out after I get home, so I got y'all, ha ha ha. In terms of Juno meeting the family, it will be when we get to go next Christmas, so he can finally meet my family and get to experience Christmas in the USA.
The Christmas in USA is so different from Korea, because here in Korea, honestly, it's just a red day. You don't go to work and you just meet your lovers and exchange presents. It's
a day
not
for
really like
couples.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's not a day for the children. Like that's more our culture. We're gonna tear it up next year. Unfortunately, I have to travel without him this year, but we'll go together next year.
Hunter, are you into skincare as a profession?
Ooh, okay. I'm considering it. So I got really into skincare the past few years, especially with working on my own skin, and now I feel knowledgeable enough to give recommendations to friends, and I'm working with beauty brands, collaborating and also promoting their products on Instagram and on YouTube. It is a field that I'm considering working in some capacity. Very good question. Hopefully more information on that soon.
This is a question to Hunter.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about acting? Since you sing, have you ever thought about releasing an album like the interracial girl group Black Swan? Never heard of it, sorry. Awesome foreigners are making their scenes in dramas, music and fashion, and also modeling, or even opening a business. Just curious on your thoughts about this.
Ooh. Nina girl, Nina, you hit the nail on the head. That is absolutely what I am doing next year. For 2023, my goal was to dip my foot into acting, modeling, entertainment as an umbrella. I will be transitioning out of teaching in the next 2 months and starting my entertainer career here in South Korea. Yeah, when I read that question, when you first sent it, I was like, does she know me, like personally? But I felt super supported by Juno and by my family to do this. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag, I guess. I will be an entertainer next year of some capacity. Of course, details are still being figured out. I will be focusing a lot of videos around that next year. So please stay tuned if you are interested in that journey. Final question!
When are you going to tie the knot?
It's a question for you.
I'm thinking maybe a year or 2 from now. Of course, we gotta settle down. There are a lot to prepare before you get married. And especially for us, because we have to choose where we're gonna live. Because recently we've been talking about going to America, settling down there.
Yeah.
And that's what actually I really want to do as well. And I have to think about that. First, I have to meet her family.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I need approval.
We want to let y'all in a little bit. So Juno just mentioned us going to America. That is absolutely our plan in the not so distant future. We do intend to have our wedding ceremony here in Korea. He's giving me time to focus on modeling and entertaining. After that, he's transitioning out of his job, and then we're thinking about moving to America, and that's where we will start our family. And it's his dream. And right now he's supporting my dream, and I want to support his dream of just living somewhere else. Yeah, with that being said, stay tuned. A lot of content is coming, a lot of changes are coming. We are also excited to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. We became a couple on Christmas Day 2022. Even though I won't be here in Korea, there are things that we want to do to celebrate, especially when I come back. So with that being said, we want to thank you all so much for supporting us and our couple content up until this point. Please continue to support us. Please don't let this be the end. This family that we've created on YouTube has been really special to us. Please continue to comment on the videos, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to us, and we wish you and yours a happy holidays, happy new year, and we will see you in 2024. Bye!